Welcome to the Exam Sale channel, where we help you prepare for various IT certification exams. Today, we are going to discuss the syllabus of the VMware Certified Advanced Professional 7, Cloud Management and Automation Design exam. The VMware Certified Advanced Professional 7, Cloud Management and Automation Design exam consists of 6 domains, each with a specific percentage weightage. The Create Realize Automation Physical Design domain holds 25% weightage, followed by Create Realize Automation Logical Design with 20%, Create Realize Automation Conceptual Design with 15%, Create Realize Automation Inventory and Governance Design with 15%, Create Realize Automation Extensibility and Integration Design with 15%, and Create Realize Business for Cloud Design with 10% weightage. Let's start with the first domain, Create Realize Automation Physical Design. This domain focuses on infrastructure architecture, component placement, and hardware or resource requirements. In this domain, you'll learn to design IaaS web server and manager service redundancy, distributed execution manager worker placement and roles, vRealize automation agent placement for specific hypervisors, Microsoft SQL Server requirements and clustering for IaaS, load balancer configurations including health checks and persistence, and certificate requirements for distributed deployments. You'll also learn to determine the number of vRealize automation appliances for high availability and design network and storage physical requirements, including IP address management and DNS strategies for IaaS nodes, storage IOPS and capacity for VRA appliance and database, and NSXV or NSXT physical integration requirements. Moving on to the second domain, Create Realize Automation Logical Design. This domain focuses on mapping business requirements to software-defined constructs and service delivery models. In this domain, you'll learn to design tenant structures based on business unit requirements, fabric groups and select appropriate resources, reservations and reservation policies for resource isolation, logical networking using NSX integration, compute resource mapping for hybrid clouds, and storage reservation policies and priority levels. You'll also learn to design multi-machine blueprints for complex application stacks, service catalog categories and organizational structure, custom properties and property groups, software component lifecycle actions, XaaS logical workflows, and image mapping and guest customization strategies. The third domain, Create Realize Automation Conceptual Design, focuses on translating business needs into a high-level architectural framework. In this domain, you'll learn to gather and analyze business requirements for cloud automation, identify technical constraints that impact design decisions, document assumptions made during the conceptual phase, assess business risks and mitigation strategies, define service-level agreements for the cloud service, and determine compliance and regulatory requirements for the design. You'll also learn to create a high-level conceptual model of the cloud environment, define relationship between business units and cloud services, determine the primary cloud consumption model, determine the scope of automation and orchestration, and map business stakeholders to design functional areas. The fourth domain, Create Realize Automation Inventory and Governance Design, focuses on designing security, access controls, and administrative boundaries. In this domain, you'll learn to design identity store integration, vRealize automation system and functional roles, multi-tenancy access and isolation boundaries, authentication methods, business group membership and leadership roles, and map organizational roles to VRA permissions. You'll also learn to design entitlement structures for catalog items and actions, approval policies and multi-level approval chains, quotas and lease policies for resource lifecycle management, reclamation policies for inactive resources, and audit and logging requirements for governance compliance. The fifth domain, Create Realize Automation Extensibility and Integration Design, focuses on designing workflow automation and third-party system integrations. In this domain, you'll learn to design vRealize orchestrator integration and cluster, event broker service subscriptions and triggers, lifecycle extensibility for VM provisioning states, custom resource actions for day 2 operations, and determine the appropriate use of the vRealize Automation API. You'll also learn to design integration with IPAM providers, ITSM platforms, CMDB updates, public cloud providers, and vRealize operations integration for health data. The last domain, create a vRealize business for cloud design, focuses on financial management, cost analysis, and cloud transparency design. In this domain, you'll learn to design vRealize business for cloud appliance deployment, data collection for private and public cloud costs, pricing models for catalog items and blueprints, cost profiles for different storage and compute tiers, reporting requirements for showback and chargeback, and design vRealize automation and vRealize business integration. In conclusion, this exam assesses your ability to design and implement a vRealize automation solution, including the creation of a vRealize automation physical design, logical design, conceptual design, inventory and governance design, extensibility and integration design, and vRealize business for cloud design. Make sure to study and prepare well for this exam to pass it with flying colors.